question from someone that wanted to know how I deal with my redness. I do have rosacea, so some days I have a lot more redness than other days. Today happens to be a day where it's there. So I thought I'd show you real quick how I do it. Again, makeup is very personal, and what works for me may not work for you. Based on my skin tone, my skin type, and so on. But I'm going to show you the general idea, and then you can play around with it and see what works for you. So I personally do conceal. Whether I conceal and how much I conceal is going to depend on what I plan on doing for my foundation. So if I plan on using my liquid foundation from Unique, which I do today, I will conceal a little bit more because the liquid foundation is medium coverage and I kind of need full coverage, so I kind of go in a little bit more with the concealer than normal. If I'm using my BB Flawless cream mixed with concealer, then I either go very, very light with the concealer beforehand, or I don't do it at all. Using the BB Flawless with the concealer does an excellent job of covering up my redness. So, but if I'm having a particularly bad day, I just to satisfy myself and my obsession with covering my redness, I'll go in with a little bit of concealer. So the concealer that I'm going to be using today is going to be, I'm actually using two, and I'm using Unique's Mineral Touch concealer for both, but they're two different shades. So I'm going to use Taffeta, which is my foundation shade, on this area here alongside my nose and right around here. For my forehead, the center of my nose, my upper lip area, I normally would say the Cupid's bow, but I do a little bit more than my Cupid's bow. And then here on the chin, I'm actually going to use a lighter shade. I want to highlight the area a little bit more and make it a little bit lighter. So even though the foundation is going to cover it up anyway, I don't want to darken those areas up more. So this is just me. It's my own personal preference. I use a lighter shade. So for this, what I'm going to do is on the forehead, I'm almost doing the same pattern that I do when I highlight. I'm going down the center part of the nose. I forgot if I mentioned this is organza. Your shade is going to be probably different than mine, but it'll give you an idea of how I went one shade down. Organza is a lighter shade than Taffeta by one, so I just went down a shade. I already did my under eye bag, so I'm not going to do that right now. Normally I would also make that part of it. I would just do the dots underneath the eye, but I already did that, so that's where I'm going to stop with that. Now I'm going to go in with Taffeta, and I'm just going to take it right around here. I do very light concealing. Some people would say, well, you really don't need to conceal that. It's color correction versus concealing. Yes, that's true. Color correction is great. But I find that Unique's foundation is so good that it covers up my redness. I really don't feel like I need color correction once I get the foundation on. So concealing works for me. It depends on the brand that you're using, and it depends on the type of product you're using. Are you using cream? Are you using powder? Is it full coverage? Is it light coverage? All of that makes a difference. So again, I'm showing you what works for me. Different brands I can't really comment on because, you know, even though I've used them, I've actually used color correction with them. I find with Unique I don't need to do that. I'm going to take this very well loved beauty blender, and it is damp, and I'm just going to tap it into my skin. And you're going to see, and I'm getting a little messy here because I'm sitting further away from my mirror as I normally do. My eyes are really, really bad. So I use a magnified mirror, and I actually have to sit up close to it. So if I get a little messy or this doesn't look right, it's my eyes. I'm just going to tap it around. I'm only doing the center part of my nose because typically I would highlight and contour anyway. So I'm not going to go nuts with my nose, but you can see how the redness is kind of covered up already. I'm going to go around the Cupid's bow area, and then I'm taking it up under the nostrils just because I tend to have a lot of redness there as well. And then down along the forehead, down along the chin. I'm renaming body parts now. Down along the chin, and then I do the darker one. So I do all the light ones first and then the darker one. For obvious reasons, I don't want to transfer any of the darker concealer onto the lighter. And because I am going to also use this with my foundation, it's okay if I have taffeta on here as well. So as you can see, that's already cut a lot of the redness. My eyes are looking really aged today. I did not get enough sleep last night and my eyes are showing it. I covered up a lot of the bags, but still, it doesn't look good. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with my foundation. Okay, so for foundation, I'm using Younique's the Unicorn. Legends are real, people. This stuff is amazing. I'm going in with Younique's Liquid Mineral Touch Liquid Foundation, again, in the shade of Taffeta. And I am using a Luxie Deluxe angled brush. I love this brush for my foundation. Younique does have a foundation brush, and this is great because it has a little recess here, and it is angled, and I love this. But because today I'm going really light on my makeup, I just feel like using a light brush. I'm just going to put, for me, I'm going to put about 5 small drops on my brush. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to tap it onto the areas that have the most redness first. And then I'm going to go into the other regions of my face. And then I'm just going to start blending it out. The reason why I go in the spots with the redness first is the first place you're going to put your brush down is going to deposit the most foundation, so I want the most foundation in that area. I'm going to go around my under eye area and around my brows last because you don't want a lot of product around your brows. It'll cake into the hairs. And you don't want a lot of product in your under eye area because, especially if you have mature skin, I've said it 1,000 times in other videos, your under eye area does not absorb product that well, not like the rest of your face. The skin is very different. So if you keep piling product up like concealers and creams and everything else, then you end up with bad wrinkles and lines. I'm going to take it around my ears and down on my neck, and I do this for me because for some strange reason that I have yet to understand, my skin on my neck is a different color than my face. Always has been. It's not the sun, it's not anything like that, just always been that way. So that's that. Now, just to make sure that I don't have any weird coverage here, I'm just going to spread this towards my hairline, and I'm just going to tap into my face very lightly. I know it looks like I'm doing it rough, but I'm actually doing it pretty light. Now, this foundation does dry to a powder, so I'm not gonna have to set it with a powder. When you have mature skin, the less you can use drying powdery products, the better. This is why I actually recommend, if you have really dry, mature skin, that you use the BB Flawless with the concealer, because the BB Flawless by itself is like a tinted moisturizer. It's hydrating, it's moisturizing, it's going to feed your skin with the nourishment that it needs as far as hydration, but the concealer is going to give you that full coverage without being really heavy. And this foundation is not heavy by any means, but because it does dry to a powder, it may not be the best choice of foundation for somebody with dry skin or mature skin. You might want to go with the cream foundation if you don't want to do the BB Flawless, or you could use the Mineral Pressed Powder, which is a mineral powder, so it's really nice. Okay, So that's my foundation. And now I would normally finish my eyes, go in with my highlighting and contouring, do my lips and my brows, and I am done. So hopefully this was helpful for you with regards to covering up redness. As you can see, my redness is greatly reduced. It does look a little red now, and that's only because I was tapping on my face, so I made my face even more red, but that will subside in a little bit. And if you have any questions, please comment and I will be happy to answer them for you. And I look forward to doing another tutorial for you in this party. I'm really excited about this event. I love doing your makeovers, so keep them coming. And I will talk to you guys soon. Bye!